Real quick, for those who are on Zoom, when we ask for if you're here, you just need to identify what location you are at. Whether you're in Lowell or Florida, we just need to know what city you're in. Thank you.
Board Member Reister?
Lowell. You want to stay too?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Board Member Doyle?
Here.
Board Member Springer?
Here.
Board Member Cease?
Here.
Board Member DeVoe?
Lowell.
Board Member Davis?
Florida.
We're in Florida.
Throw it in. Sorry.
Martha, we need to know what city in Florida.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Fort
okay.
Myers Beach, Florida.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And Board Members DeVore and Eric Wakeman are absent, and Chair Reagan.
Here. Approval of the agenda. Need a motion for that. So, Doyle, is there a second? And Mike Springer. Any corrections or changes on that? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 You have to do a roll call there, Sue?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Board Member Reister?
Aye.
Board Member Doyle?
Aye.
Board Member Springer?
Aye.
Board Member Cease?
Aye.
Board Member DeVoe?
Aye.
Board Member Davis?
Aye.
And Chair Reagan.
Aye. We need a motion to approve the absence of Wakeman and,
I can't hear Jim at all.
You're going to have to turn your microphones on when you speak because they can't hear you.
Thank you.
we need a motion to approve the absences of,
Can't hear you.
Wakeman.
We'll need a motion, yes.
Okay.
There we go. Right on.
Are you on, Jim?
Yeah, testes.
Yes.
Is your mic on? Okay. So we need a motion to approve the absences of Wakeman. He's not here. Who's the other one?
Mayor DeVore.
I'll make the motion.
Singer. Okay. Okay. Mike Springer made a motion to accept the absences, and seconded by Rick Cease. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Now it goes on to approval of the minutes of the previous meetings. Everyone has a copy of that, I hope.
That's funny, they just sent me a text message about my account being updated.
Was there?
Is there a motion for the minutes?
Okay, motion by Doyle,
Okay.
seconded by
Second.
Rick Cease. Any corrections or changes? If none, Susan, I'll let you do the,
Board Member Reister?
Aye.
Board Member Doyle?
Aye.
Board Member Springer?
Aye.
Board Member Cease?
Aye.
Board Member DeVoe?
Aye.
Board Member Davis?
Aye.
And Chair Reagan.
aye. Next is the treasurer's report. Sue, you're here for that.
Our current balance is $578,148. All of the TIFA revenues have been posted and the transfers out have been made. There's just one additional transfer I need to make to the equipment fund. I didn't do it last year for the Bobcat skid steer, and then that will be it. There will be no more contributions to the equipment fund.
Okay, for that change on here, entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Okay.
Rita.
Rita, okay, is there a second for that?
Yes.
Doyle? And Sue, I'll let you do the roll call again.
Board Member Reister?
Sorry about that.
Board Member Reister?
Aye.
Board Member Doyle?
Aye.
Board Member Springer?
Aye.
Board Member Cease?
Aye.
Board Member DeVoe?
Aye.
Board Member Davis, and Chair Reagan.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next item on the agenda is public comments for items not on the agenda. Anyone in the public or viewing? Now's the time to speak or forever hold your peace. Yeah. Okay, Liz.
Sorry, I didn't look at the agenda, so I had a gal come in yesterday, and she was just out and about enjoying the social district, and she asked about maybe the possibility of more picnic tables, and I said, well, you know, with the Riverwalk the way it is right now, I didn't know, so I wanted to just bring it to your attention.
Yep.
Okay,
We were gonna put a couple more out once the spring came.
great, perfect.
Any other public comments? We'll move on to old business. Mike, you want to update us on the Amity Street?
Sure. The Amity Street project is currently being out for bid at the county. They will approve the bid for us. We do not get to approve it because it's a federal project, so it has to meet it. So, go ahead, Dan.
It's possible we might have to, because we're both gonna be. It's possible that we will have to approve it since we're both gonna be part of the contract.
Okay.
I talked to the engineers late yesterday, and he was gonna look into it, but it's possible we will
Okay.
have to approve it as well.
Well, when we get that, we will let you know. We'll have a meeting, let you know. And we should be ready to go after July 1st on that project. So, be looking forward to that one being done. Social district. We started the social district, I believe, February 21st. The turnout has been pretty good. I think it's been well received. We've had a lot of people come through there. We have, as the weather's gotten warmer, we pulled back on having the fires. We've been having the DPW or the fire department maintain them it was on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. But the weather being as it is, we're pulling that back. I have pulled the police officer on Thursdays. The demand really, the highest population for it really has been on Fridays and Saturdays. So I've already pulled the police officer on Thursday to save money, and then I'm waiting on Sunday still whether I want to do that just yet. Chris and I have talked about that, but we're still weighing that out. The other thing is we've obviously budgeted in full for the full 12 months next year. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that with the budget, but all in all, I think it's been very successful. I've talked to all the restaurants since it started. They've all been very happy with it. They've been very pleased and thankful that we were able to do something for them.
Are you gonna make it permanent?
Well, right now, the way the statute's written, the only way we can get rid of it is we actually have to have a public hearing to take it away. I don't think that's something we're looking at right now. Rockford's going to keep theirs permanently. Matter of fact, they're keeping their main street closed permanently. We tried that for a weekend. We got too many complaints from the businesses, so I opened Monroe back up. But as of right now, we're looking at at least as long as this pandemic goes out. I mean, if it's something that we want to consider when this is done, we can, and if we don't want it, we don't have to.
So permanently temporary.
Correct.
I would just kind of pipe in, to keep your ears, as far as any complaints, and I just don't want to have this turned into mini Lollapalooza
Sure.
on a weekend and stuff. So if we start getting more complaints, we just need to be mindful of that.
Right.
People walking strollers with babies and stuff, and the combination with alcohol. I would rather be, obviously we did this to help the restaurants, but I want to be mindful of our fellow citizens too.
Absolutely.
And keep that on our radar.
We've had really no complaints. Officer Herb, she's been assigned to it. Maybe occasionally somebody will try and pull a beer, a regular beer not bought from the social district. It happens once in a great while. Usually they catch it pretty quick, but even that has been relatively minimal.
Okay, good.
Liz, are you still having the music thought in mind?
Yeah, I didn't talk about that, it's the marketing part.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If there's nothing else for the social district, we'll move on to new business and the chamber marketing.
Okay, well,
Yep.
there we go. Get my steps in today. So last year, COVID, we actually applied for a grant from the Lowell Area Community Fund, 2019, 2020, 2021, for a $50,000 grant, and we were granted that. And we also, at the same time, applied for the DDA, and we were going to ask for $50,000, and that's why I'm here today. We didn't need to use it very much last year because things got canceled. However, we continued with a lot of marketing, keeping it very sensitive to what was going on. We created some new videos that really enhanced the outdoor activities in the greater Lowell area. They were very well received. The chamber at the same time received COVID funding from Kent County, as the city of Lowell did as well. And we were able to use a lot of that funding to recreate new events. So for the merchants, we recreated Market on Main, Holiday Market on Main, Autumn Marketplace on Main, so on. And we also, with Santa, we did the videos instead of having kids come live. We did the parade and Exploded Lowell, and that was interesting. So now we're kind of at the point where we spent things down and we're ready to start going again. And our marketing committee got together, and we would like to really emphasize billboards, probably out on the highway. We'd also like to kind of help with the social district, pushing it forward, maybe doing some live music, on certain nights. That wouldn't be, sound, but it would just be more acoustical. And Mike and Rick chime in any time on that. One of the intents of the grant when we asked for the large amount of money was to do a reopening of Lowell, which we all thought we would be able to do that in 2020, and that wasn't possible. I hope going forward, 21, that we will be able to reopen if things start to change. Of course, we're not in a changing mode right now, we're going backwards again. So, but I'm actually here to ask for the $50,000 so we can move forward. We're also going to be doing a new video series about Lowell, and it's going to be very, what do I want to say? Rick, you want to help me out here with this video? It's an awareness about Lowell and what Lowell's about and our values and that sort of thing. I think it'll be a really great video to add to our
Targeted to the heart and to the young people who raise families in Lowell.
Yes. Yeah. We just feel like we got to keep marketing, even though I know sometimes we don't know what to do. We don't know how to market. What's right, what's wrong, but we've just continued on with what we've normally done, and we're running video, we're running ads on social media. Just basically come to Lowell, enjoy your time here with us.
So the DDA gave $40,000 last year, and you didn't spend it all?
That was 2019.
Fall 19.
Yeah, and we are now down, and so that's why I decided we should start, working on the grant that we applied for 2021. So we didn't even get our money yet from the Lowell Area Community Fund. But our coffers are getting empty, and we've got plans to keep moving forward. So.
But you don't know how you're going to spend it all?
Well, yeah, like I said, we're going to do billboard. We've got a new video series coming. We'd like to kind of help out with bringing some live music downtown for the social district and that sort of thing. And the events that we're going to go forward with, we've always used it to enhance those events with radio, whatever, advertising.
This is budgeted, so we did budget for this.
Okay, any other questions for Liz on the chamber marketing request for $50,000? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
See, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mike Springer. And any further discussion on that? Questions on that? Well, let's do the roll call again.
Board Member Meister,
Aye.
Board Member Doyle,
Aye.
Board Member Springer,
Aye.
Board Member Cease,
Aye.
Board Member DeVoe,
Aye.
Board Member Davis,
Aye.
and Chair Reagan.
Aye. Summer concerts, that's a different animal,
That's a different
different request.
So, gosh, I don't even know what to say. I mean, as of right now, we're planning to go ahead with summer concerts. We were fortunate enough to rebook everybody, thanks to Rick's negotiating skills from last year to this year, almost in the exact places they were supposed to be last year. You know, it's a wait and see game, just like it was last year. We've already gotten several sponsorships, and our big sponsor, Lighthouse, has agreed to sponsor again this year. We are asking the DDA to support with their sponsorship as well, and we hope that we'll be able to move forward, or at least maybe not in June, but maybe just reschedule them and just work it in the best we can. So that's where we are right now. I'd like to be more optimistic, but.
So if you don't have them, you won't draw the money?
I would say that's correct. I know that last year we did have expenses that the Lowell Community Fund let us, they covered all our expenses, and we didn't apply for as much money. We kept it in our bank for this year. So that would be the thing. I mean, we do have to cover expenses if there are any that we go ahead with. I mean, you know, there's marketing, there's negotiating, there's setting up stages, there's all kinds of things that you gotta do. You know, you can't stop doing it, so.
There was a artist or two that required non-refundable money. And then your fixed overhead, like you said.
Right.
But it really doesn't add up to be a ton.
No, it doesn't. So we just try to be.
I just want to add real quickly that we've had some discussions on, you know, what the rules and the regulations are at the moment and what that would look like if we were to try to tailor it to meet those rules and regulations, with hopes that going forward before June gets here, that there will be less rules and regulations so that we can alter what our thinking processes are and trying to still make it happen, but within the confines of what we really need to do. So that's sort of where we are.
Yeah. I kind of feel like with any event that we do go forward with, I don't think the attendance will be anywhere near what it normally has, but who knows?
And that was, entertained a motion for $6,000 then for the summer concert?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Anyone want to make that motion then?
So moved.
Rick Cease, is there a second?
I'll second.
Is that a yes for Mike Springer?
Yes.
Any changes or corrections on that? Sue, I'll let you do the roll call.
Board Member Meister,
Aye.
Board Member Doyle,
Aye.
Board Member Springer,
Aye.
Board Member Cease,
Aye.
Board Member DeVoe,
Aye.
Board Member Davis,
Aye.
and Chair Reagan.
Aye. Holiday decorations?
For many years, the DDA has contracted with Hometown Decoration and Display LLC in Hudsonville for our holiday light decorations. They provided us with a renewal agreement for the next 3 years. Total cost is for this upcoming fiscal year is $5,032 for the decorations and bows. In the event there's an increase for the 2022 and 2023 year, we would be notified in June of those particular years of the changes. We have budgeted for this. I have the contract attached for review. I recommend the Downtown Development Authority approve a 3-year agreement with Hometown Decorations and Display LLC at a cost not to exceed $5,032 for fiscal year 21-22.
Are you happy with them?
I think so, yeah. I haven't had any complaints. They look nice.
I just think they could be more pizzazz.
It'll cost you more money. We actually, I know when Rich was here, we did some, we checked around and we talked about, doing the light poles even more, and it really is expensive. I mean, we can change decorations, from what we put up now, but I don't know, how much more pizzazz you're gonna get. I don't know what you're thinking when you say that.
Well, go through other towns and they look nicer, right?
Oh, see, I think ours looks the best.
So, yeah.
I guess I'm partial that way.
Light on the trees that we've got.
Oh, yeah, it'd be awesome if we could do lighting on the
Just
trees.
different things like that.
But, you're talking a lot more money than $5,000 too. We'd have to check with them about lighting on the trees, and I don't know what other companies are out there, but yeah.
See, like where we came from, we had these they were very old and gaudy.
Yeah.
They were ugly, and you don't want those. Eventually, we bought them, and didn't we look when I left about buying, didn't we buy new Christmas lights? But it was like $100 grand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
It's,
Yeah.
And then you have the storage.
That's the other thing. We have nowhere to store the stuff.
Have you ever gone, because I'm a real stickler about fluffing the garlands. Have you ever gone to the towns that don't fluff the garlands? It's not very attractive. I don't know. I mean, we could certainly look into it if you'd like, but they've been really great about when they come, when they take them down. If we had any issues, they come right out, take care of it. So as far as a good company to work with, they have been really great that way.
And I think, last year, if January 1st, I don't remember exactly, was that, it seemed like the decorations came down like January 2 or 3.
Which is normal. I checked with them. I know I saw that comment that they came down early, but it's really the same time every year.
Okay.
Maybe by 1 or 2 days.
Okay. Well, if it's on.
But we can keep them up longer.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
It costs the same as
Yep.
to take it down if you left it up.
Yep, we could be on the last of their schedule, like take us down last or something, but I'm sure they would let us keep them
Okay.
later.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Frank, are you thinking of spending a little bit more money?
I think, just to breaken it up.
So maybe
Look into it.
When you talk to them about the takedown, ask them, what it costs, just what's the next level up and what would that encounter, as far as, wrapping trees or, whatever. If they have a $5,000 package and the next package up is, 10 or 15, that's something for the DDA to consider. We're ready to approve this. But, Brian's looking to, spruce it up, and what would be the next level up,
We can look at that.
okay?
No problem.
So don't vote on this today?
No, we need to approve, why don't we approve the agreement so at least we get that and we can come back to you.
Yeah, if it's an upgrade, okay?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, so Mike made a motion for the Christmas decorations, is there a second?
I'll second.
Brian seconded, and Sue, let's do the roll call.
Board Member Reister? Board Member Doyle?
Aye.
Board Member Springer?
Aye.
Board Member Cease?
Aye.
Board Member DeVoe?
Aye.
Board Member Davis?
Aye.
And Chair Reagan.
Aye. Budget 21-22.
Yep, I'm presenting to you your fiscal year 21-22 budget. Just going through this year, we saw an approximate $104,000 increase to the DDA fund from what we originally budgeted. Last year, for this fiscal year, we originally budgeted $602,500 for revenue. However, we actually took in $706,176.53 in current revenue. The major increases we are seeing are the land sales and the opening of the marijuana facilities, all of which are in the Downtown Development Authority District, and the city will actually see an increase of $6 million in taxable value of real property, which is land, in the upcoming year. Most of this is going to the DDA, and this is, for us, this is a significant increase in value. That being said, I do anticipate some tax tribunal requests and some value dropping, especially with any restaurants and hotels. Since we have both in the district, I'm being a little conservative with our revenue estimate for the upcoming year. This is so we can pay back tax revenue on those requests if the Michigan Tax Tribunal grants them. Our revenue projection in the upcoming fiscal year is $788,049.57. However, for the reasons I mentioned, I'm only going to budget $755,000 in new revenue for the upcoming fiscal year. Going back to the current budget we're in, we originally budgeted $788,475.23 in expenditures. That's including the bond payment. We need to make some amendments to the current DDA budget for the fiscal year, and the amendments I'm proposing are to reduce the capital outlay item from $154,000 to $105,885. Since Amity will be moved to the upcoming fiscal year, I reduced the projection. We've already paid and completed the Riverside Street project. I anticipate the temperature control and the benches and trash cans will be completed shortly, and that would add up to the 105. We increased the operating supplies line item from $3,000 to $5,000. This was mainly due to some surveying work that needed to be done to accommodate the DNR land transfer for the Unity Schools project. $21,000 to the social district. It's actually called Community Promotions, and it's line number 463 line item for costs associated with operating it. I'm reducing the equipment rental line item from $26,000 to $18,000 due to the less need of DPW equipment. After talking with Liz, we're finding out what they needed. We're just reducing the marketing line item from $75,000 to $64,027, as this accommodates all of the Chamber of Commerce's marketing requests. As Sue did mention, this year we need to increase the equipment transfer amount from $17,340 to $34,680, as the treasurer did not transfer last year's installment purchase payment for the Bobcat and skid steer. This is the final installment purchase for that equipment. So going into the upcoming fiscal year, there are many routine operational expenses that are being budgeted, but some of the major appropriations to consider are $312,632 for the DDA contribution to the City Hall bond. This year I'm asking the DDA to take on the full bond payment again. This general fund needs to be alleviated as our pension costs are increasing significantly and we need to make payments toward them. In addition, the city is increasing their contribution to local streets. We are also budgeting for our police detective to be full-time. And we also have multiple retirements in the next few years where we have to provide retirement health care for those employees, as well as the new employees we replace them with. And funds have been set aside in the general fund to take care of all of those things.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
In the middle of this?
Sure.
What are legalities of paying the entire bond?
It is fully legal. I checked with the city attorney because it's in the Downtown Development Authority and it's in our TIF plan. We can do it. I proposed $454,000 in capital outlay. This will include the $184,000 for the DDA's portion of Amity Street, $145,000 for repaving Valley Vista from Bowes to Maine, which we proposed for next spring. We are also planning to budget $100,000 to address Monroe and Main Street area, whatever we do when we engineer this project this fall. As you know, next year we are doing a water sewer street project all the way from Monroe, all the way from King to what's the street?
Fremont.
Fremont, yep, Fremont Drive. So It's about 3/4 of a mile project that majority are funding through the USDA. So we are working on that. Also, one of the other projects I proposed is $25,000 for the purchase and installation of the donated bricks for the Showboat project. We talked about that in the spring, if you recall, or in the winter, if we recall. $65,000 for marketing. This includes our normal contribution to the Chamber of Commerce for event sponsorship. I confirmed this number with Liz. $48,620 for all costs associated with the social district. And then I put $20,000 for repair and maintenance, and I set aside $15,000 for painting the light poles if we so choose. I've attached to you the budget and the cash flow for the DDA. The DDA is going to be using a significant amount of fund balance this year to complete capital projects. That being said, we still have about 8.6% fund balance at the end of the upcoming year, and also there's going to be some cushion possibly because of the coming in lower, about $30,000 on the revenue. In addition, one of the things I also have done that the city is going to receive about $411,000 through the American Recovery Plan, and part of those funds, I've set aside $100,000 of that to cover any potential chargebacks for tax tribunals in the event they do occur in the next 4 years. So that money, if that happens, I would take the money, that $100,000, and replenish the DDA fund if that did occur. I'll take any questions, but I'm recommending that the Downtown Development Authority amend their current fiscal year budget and approve the fiscal year 2021-22 budget as presented.
Lot to digest.
There's a lot.
So that the 411, that's part of that COVID.
That's that's one of the COVID payments received, but we haven't received it yet. But we're going to set that money aside. We do have some emergency police capital purchases that we're going to use for that funds. But I also am setting aside $100,000 of it to address this concern.
Any questions for Mike, city manager, on that at all? And looking for entertaining motion to approve this then?
I'll move it to get it on the table.
Okay. Brian made motions, or second?
Second, Rita.
Rita seconded. And any further questions?
How much are we putting into the general fund then? With the 312 for the
So we transfer that 312 to the general fund, and the general fund makes the bond payment out of it.
so that's the total amount?
Yep, 312. That's the only money that we put in the general fund.
That's been pretty consistent, hasn't
Yeah, we only have maybe 11 more years, 10 or 11 more years of the bond payment, and then the bond will be paid off.
32, I think.
Yeah. But it's going up like $4,000 every year.
Any other questions for Mike on that, on the budget? There's a motion and a second, and Sue, I'll let you do a roll call.
Board Member Reister.
Aye.
Board Member Doyle.
it? Aye.
Board Member Springer.
Aye.
Board Member Cease.
Aye.
Board Member DeVoe. Board Member DeVoe.
Yep.
Stuffed away.
Board Member Davis.
Aye.
Chair Reagan.
All right. We need to wait for Julie to come back, or we got a quorum?
The vote can stand it, but
There
if
she
she,
is.
she's out, so we're just saying. We got an eye.
Okay. Reports and member comments.
Oh, that was it. Oh, wait,
Either out.
She needs to go on mute.
We took care of it.
Okay. I'd like to maybe ask, I don't know, our newest member, Ms. Davis, if she could give you a little synopsis of her involvement and how long she's been in the business in Lowell and how's your winter going?
I'm sorry, what'd you say? How's the what going?
I would just like to have you just introduce yourself to the rest of the board, that I don't know you at all, so just introduce yourself, what kind of business you're in, and welcome to the DDA.
Thank you. I've been in Lowell for about 6 years now. I own Tap House Boutique, and right next to the Showboat Spirits and Fine Wines, and the headquarters for North Country Trail. So yeah, it's actually been fairly good. We've had to do a lot of different things to make it work this past year, but we've got a lot of good following, so I'm very grateful to Lowell.
Okay, well, welcome to Lowell again, and thanks for spending your Thursday lunch hours with us. Okay. Anybody else from the board as far as comments? Well, the only other thing that I had on my mind too was about the, already mentioned about the social district. Keep that on the radar as far as,
Absolutely.
and it's evening hours, but as the weather gets nicer, I hope it continues to not be an issue at all.
Yeah. We're going to bring on Thursdays, once the weather gets nicer, we're going to bring the officer back on those nights, because that tends to be a heavy night downtown. So, but during the off-peak times is probably, we don't see a need for it, but we do plan. So we will have that presence on the nights. We know there's going to be a lot of people here.
Mike, how will that intermingle with Thursday night concerts?
So, you mean the social district? So the social district was overlaid to include the area that normally people go to. We just felt it was too difficult to enforce when we drew the lines for the social district, so we just incorporated everything into it.
Okay, if nothing else, just keep our fingers crossed that, this thing called COVID kind of comes to pass and we can have a somewhat more of a normal summer. When I first came on, I asked, how many of you had the vaccine? I really encourage you to, those that are able to get that, so that we reach that herd immunity, that we can do away with the masks, hopefully eventually. And it's nice to have the summer concerts scheduled. It's an outdoor event. As far as the super spreading, that's really hasn't been an issue nationwide. So, and these musicians need to get out. They need to start entertaining, because that's what they do for a living. It's one thing to close a restaurant, and there's obviously repercussions to that. But some of the people in the music industry and the entertainment, I don't know what they've been doing the last 13, 14 months. It's got to be really devastating for them. So I hope that this is one way to help them out, and be able to have people kind of celebrate and get out and enjoy the company again. So with that, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move. Rita.
Rita's made a motion to adjourn, and is there a second?
Second.
By Mike Springer. All those in favor, well, let's do the roll call.
Board Member Reister.
Aye.
Board Member Doyle.
Aye.
Board Member Springer.
Aye.
Board Member Cease.
Aye.
Board Member DeVoe. Board Member DeVoe.
Aye.
Board Member Davis.
Aye.
And Chair Reagan.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned, and those who want to stay can stay. Those who want to go lunch can go lunch.